The Clouser Minnow, developed by Bob Clouser, is probably the most effective streamer fly for underwater work that's been developed in the last 30 years. We can make them that are only 1 inch long, and we use them in saltwater that long. They're also good in freshwater. Or we can make them with synthetic hair up to 10 and 12 inches. One of the things that makes this fly good is it has lead eyes, which cause it to go down. And we use a different lead eyes to get different depths. You can see here that I have little tiny lead eyes, and I have larger lead eyes. We also, some people object to lead, so we also have other metallic type eyes, and most metallic eyes, if you want the same seek rate as a lead eye, you would use one that's one size larger. Most of the metallic eyes weigh about 50 to 60% of what a lead eye would in the same size. So if you want to get deeper, you want to use a larger eye. In this case, for this large one here I'm pointing to, this would be good in 8, 10, 12 feet of water. These are what we use most of the time in 2 to 3 feet of water, which would be either your 1/36 or your 1/24 ounce lead eye. This is one of the keys that makes this fly work. Because the lead eyes are tied on the top of the shank of the hook, they cause the hook to turn over, and so the hook will run with the hook up, so that you reduce the chances for this thing snagging on the bottom. So what we're going to do is put some lead eyes on, and I'm going to put a regular lead eye on, and the key to doing this is to put back about 1/3 of the way on the shank and build a good lump of thread, and you want to put that on very tightly. If you put it on loose, your lead eye is going to spin. We put the thread on here, we break the thread, and we bring a lead eye up and we lay it on here like this on an angle and make 2 or 3 wraps with good tension. Then if you turn this, you can pull that over so that it lays up against that bump. Now make some figure of 8s, which most people know how to make, which are just around. Once you've made several of them, to help this keep this eye from turning, if you would go underneath on the far side, but do not go under the shank, come up and go under here and do a series of these by not going under the shank, what you're really doing is you're building a thread wedge on both sides here that will keep this eye from twisting. Now some people will put some material on here on anything but large or long flies. I just turn this over, and this is one of the simplest flies that you can ever tie. And all you do now is just take some white material, pull the junk out of the feather, out of the material, just put the fluff out the back end, set it up here, and of course again, you make it the length you want it to be, and it can be very short or longer. Put a little bit of glue on here like this, lay it up here. This is a 2-minute fly. Wrap this on up here. And I'm going to deliberately squeeze some of this cement into the hook eye because I want to show you how simple to get that out. Now if you take some flash, and the flash option is up to you, and simply bring that around the thread, bring it up here and tie it in. You've got your flash in here. Now you put a little bit of chartreuse in here, and this fly is finished. This is one of the simplest flies that you can tie. Again, match the top length with about, always on any fly, you want to make the top of the fly, whatever color it is, darker than the bottom. I'm going to work this down so that there's definitely going to be some of this glue get in the hook eye. That's the Clouser Minnow, one of the most effective. I've caught 86 species of fish on this fly around the world, and more than 1/3 of them have been caught on this chartreuse and white. Now I have a lot of glue on here, or head cement, and that's going to jam and clog up this eye. So if you want to get rid of any of that, what you do is simply take an old feather of any kind and pull some of the fluff off of it, and if you pull this through here like this, that will clean the eye, and your eye will be perfectly clear. And all we have now, this is a basic Clouser Minnow that has caught thousands and thousands of fish for people, and all it is just, again, shaped like a bait. The size of this eye determines how fast it's going to sink. This would sink slowly. A larger eye, something like this on a larger fly, would make it sink so much faster. This is one of the simplest flies to tie, and one of the things I like about all flies, the simpler they are to tie, the more I like to tie them. That's all you need for a clouser.